Well, I just got started on this project and it occurred to me that maybe I should be making a video. So what I'm making is a table clamp. It's going to be like a vise, only it could be as long as the table is, I suppose, on the mill. And the one end, the solid jaw, if you would, is right here, and it's already clamped on the table, and it is 90 degrees to the side, so this 90-degree angle right in here. I've just drilled a couple of holes in it, and we've got it nice and square. And it's actually tubing. You could go solid on that if you wanted to, I suppose, but I had the tubing and it's pretty tough looking stuff. So we're going to try it out and see if that tubing works. And the piece in the vise is 1 inch by 2 inches this way, and about 1 3/8 inches long, and I'm not even sure that maybe you could go less than that. Not anymore, I would say for sure. But what I'm doing right now is I'm milling this so it looks like this. And this is one of my nuts off the table that, you know, that slides in the slot here. It goes down underneath. And that's why I'm doing it. I want this big block to slide into one of these slots like this little guy does. Well, there was a slight miscalculation, and that piece that was a little bit long to fit in the slots on the mill table didn't really fit too well. So we're going to cut a piece off of the end to make it the right size. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So this was the problem here. If this had been longer, it wouldn't fit in here between the bar and these parts right here. So this one fits in pretty nice here. Fairly snug. I don't want much tip on this, and it doesn't have much tip. That's going to work okay. So in the middle of the block we've tapped and threaded a hole, 12 millimeter by 1.5 thread, and it slides back and forth in here. And then we've got a 12 millimeter screw. Well, before we do that, we've got one of these standard blocks here that I've got a short screw and a washer on it. And that just slides in there, and wherever you want that to stop, you just tighten that up right there, and this won't go past that. And we've got a 12 millimeter screw over on the workbench here. We'll take a look at that. Okay, there's our 12 millimeter screw, and we've put a little ball bearing in the end. Now the ball bearing, I'm sure you're not going to have the same size one. It was a weird size, but that's the size of the ball bearing, 0.1864 inches, and I used a 0.1850 number drill to drill a very... There was just enough of a mark that I could see where it was hitting, and I punched it right here, and we're going to make a little bit bigger indent than that punch mark. That's for the ball to rest in. Well, I've got a 2x4 here, quite long, and it would fit in my vise. I have a bigger vise than that small one that you've probably seen before. But if it were a 2x6, it wouldn't. And if I wanted to do some work on the top of here, I'd have to clamp it to the table, and that's hard to do if you want access to the whole top, because your clamps have to go somewhere on top. So that's why I'm making this device. Now I've got it set up here. I've got that little mark, and I can put this on here, and I can move that along until I feel where it has just hit the spot right about there. I can put this in and then tighten up on this here. And I don't have the wrench handy, but you see my point here. I've got some way to hold that where the entire top is accessible now. And it didn't cost me very much time or materials. Well, I think this is going to work okay. You want to get this out of here. You just back that up a little bit. Take this out. Move that forward. Slide this forward, and you can then remove this and take everything off.